live? I believe we're live now. All right, guys. Hey, Kayak Mike here. This is the virtual captains meeting. I've just been extremely busy, so I haven't really had time to preset this or anything. I was gonna do it as a video and just upload it, but I figured I'd just do it live. If we catch anyone, cool. If not, this is mainly being done for people to watch back throughout the week. So shout out sponsors: King Cat, Raccoon Creek Outfitters, Adam Flegel, Electric. Adam provides the trophies, those the plaques we have. They're badass. King Cat is I work for them essentially, and then Raccoon Creek Outfitters, Dustin Hoy. He will be at this tournament this upcoming weekend. We're actually staying at his camper, so if you want to meet Dustin, talk about kayaks, feel free. So to get to this tournament, download the Fishing Chaos app. Look for online catfishing tournaments in Trail Club. Go to tournaments. Then you'll go to the King Cat National Kayak Trail. Go ahead and click on that. Sandusky Bay, June 21st. Also, June 22nd is the Ohio Length Series. If anybody wants to double dip and stay, Ohio Length Series is bank, kayak, and boat. The King Cat National Kayak Trail is only kayak. The 22nd is also our rain out date. We shouldn't be rained out. It's going to be unfortunately a little windy, but we shouldn't be rained out. But if we do get rained out, Sunday is going to be our backup date. And yeah, we'll just go over some of the rules. For anyone who has fished National Trail, nothing really has changed. I put a little more emphasis on the check-in. So, all right, let's just go through it. So, cost is $150. You have to be an online catfishing tournaments member before you can join. It'll stop you. It actually won't let you register anymore unless you do that. Captain's meeting is at Clemens Boat Ramp this Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. It's not optional. The check-in is mandatory. The only reason you can't make it has to be a valid reason, and it's my discretion. You're traveling, like let's say we have Adam coming up from Kansas, and he left Friday afternoon and he ran into traffic. I'm going to let him check in Saturday morning, or I'm going to let him come to my Airbnb and check in Friday night. That's fine. If you're working, let's say you're a local and you're working and you can't make Friday, but you can make Saturday morning check-in, that's fine. Missing Friday night check-in cannot be for chasing bait. It cannot be for pre-fishing. You cannot tactically use missing check-in Friday night to your advantage, or you're going to be banned from the events, period. Somebody asked me last event, hey, and they didn't know that was a rule. They just said, hey, I'm just going to do Saturday morning check-in so I can just chase more bait Friday night. And I said, if you do that, you're going to be disqualified, because that's not the purpose. The purpose of a Friday night check-in is to hook up the anglers so they don't have to do a Saturday morning check-in, so you can get more sleep. It's a safety thing. Now, I do want to squash one rumor that's going around. A few people asked me about that, and they said, oh, but I heard you hooked your buddy up in Alabama and didn't make 3 of your buddies check in at the check-in. There is truth to that, but there's a lot of falsehoods, because everyone who brought that up to me didn't have the whole story. So here's the whole story. Let me pull it up. So I don't know who's spreading this rumor, but it's kind of disheartening. So everyone was checked in at Alabama except for 3 anglers. So check-in is right here. My Airbnb with those 3 anglers is right here, and those 3 anglers were right here. Everyone got done checking in except for these 3 anglers. They were getting off the water. They were loading up. They were on their way. They were about 45 minutes away from check-in, and then they were another about 45 minutes away from the Airbnb that we were staying at. They were the only 3 that weren't checked in. I told them I would just meet them at the Airbnb. They gained no advantage. They weren't pre-fishing. They weren't bait fishing. They were off the water. They were on their way to check-in. I just didn't feel like waiting for them. So on paper, yes, my fault. It doesn't look good on paper that 3 people I'm staying with got to not have to go to check-in. But that's the whole story. If anyone left any of those details out on that day in Bama, then they're just trying to cause drama for the sake of causing drama, and they're being a big old baby. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not one to be accused of stuff and just like let it fall under the radar. So yes, I'll admit I didn't make those 3 check-in, but they gained no advantage. They had to drive past the check-in to get to the Airbnb we were staying at, and I checked them in at the Airbnb. If that rubs you the wrong way, I'm sorry. All right, moving on. Lines in day of will be 7 a.m. I can check you in day of 6 a.m. at Clemens Boat Ramp, between 6 and 7. Let's say you're getting in late Friday night. You can swing by the camper. I can check you in there. No problem. Just let me know. The soft cutoff for registration is 8 p.m. Friday night. Again, I say soft because if someone is not Adam, we'll say Andrew Green. Let's say Andrew Green's coming up from Texas. and he runs into traffic or gets in an accident, and he's focusing on driving and not registering, I'll let him register past 8 p.m. But communicate. Communication is extremely important. The boundaries, and this is something we're going to talk about real quick, and then I should be able to get on my way. I'm 2 hours. I was supposed to leave 2 hours ago, so that's why it might seem like I am rushing. The boundaries, there's an invisible line from Cedar Point right here to here. There's an invisible line. You cannot fish past this, east of this. You can fish all the bay in here. You can fish all of this as long as it's navigable by kayak from the main body of water. You're good to go. Just be careful though. The farther you go back here, the more questions I'm going to raise. So if I see you submitting fish from way back here, I might launch the next day here and see if I can get there. The moment my trolling motor touches bottom, you will be disqualified if I cannot get to your fishing spot. So navigable by water or navigable by kayak means you can get there from the main body of water without bottoming out at all. So if my trolling motor hits bottom and you're fishing somewhere where I can't get to without my trolling motor hitting bottom, you're going to be disqualified. I'm not really worried about it, but here's the thing, and I can't find it. Somebody told me they could technically get to Portage River from Sandusky Bay navigably. I don't know how, but they said they could. And they said by my quote-unquote rule, they could fish Portage River. I'm telling you right now, if you fish Portage River, you're disqualified. Like, I try not to have our rules be insane, but don't bend them. The spirit of the rule is fish the dang bay. And yeah, those are the boundaries. Let's see what else. Have your GPS timestamp turned on. There is an option now when you go to submit a fish, like inside the app itself, to turn on and off your specific catch location. Turn that on. If it's not on, I'm going to have to disqualify you. All prize payouts are done via PayPal. And yeah, I'm sorry if I sound rushed. It's because I am rushed. What's up, Eric? I have to get out of here. I will meet everybody at the captain's meeting. If anyone has any questions, give me a phone call, shoot me a text. Yeah, Kayak Mike out of here.